I'm an addict for sneakers.
What's good? It's your boy DJ Dells back with a brand new sneaker podcast here at the Sneaker Addict Show. If you're excited for today's podcast, make sure to hit that like button right now to let me know, and it also lets your friends know that may not know about the show. Trust me, there's so many people out there in the world that have no clue about this show that you love. Just hitting the Twitter share button, the Facebook share button, and letting your circle of friends know helps me out. You have no clue how much it helps me out. It helps out a lot because it lets more people know about the show and builds up my audience and helps me out. So please do that. And if you're new to the channel, these podcasts right here I do usually every week. Sometimes I'll take a week off, but usually every Friday, Saturday, I put out a new podcast. Thursdays, I usually post on my Instagram what you guys want me to talk about, and then when I record the podcast, I go through all these questions. I do Q&A every time I record these now. So if you're not following my Instagram and you want to be more involved with these podcasts, make sure to follow my Instagram. That will be in the description box below. Team DJ Dells is my Instagram. If you're not following, follow right now. And be more interactive. And for people that are leaving comments, if you want me to shout you out, when you leave your comment, put your name. Put your first name, your full name if you want. I really suggest just putting your first name, last initial, and I'll definitely give you a shout out. And if you just want a shout out, just say, can you shout me out, and put your name. And when I do the podcast, I got no problem shouting you out. So, with that said, let's get into this podcast. First, we got a question from Mosley, FTN Mosley. In about 5 years, where do you think the sneaker game is headed, up or down? And keep up the great videos. Thank you, first of all. Now, let's get into your question. I think the sneaker game is going to be, up and down. As far as popularity, I hope that it goes down because it'll make life easier for people like me that just wants to buy their shoes and keep it moving. There's a lot of people that are into sneakers for different kind of reasons. My main reason has always been I just love wearing the kicks, and it's always been that way. If you watch from when I first started doing YouTube videos to now, it's always been the same, man. Just me being happy I got the pair of kicks to wear, So if I'm able to get my sneakers without no hassle, that's great. And if the sneaker game goes downhill, I will have no problem getting my kicks because nothing's going to change on my end unless, God forbid something happens to me financially where I can't afford the sneakers no more. I'm definitely going to be still buying kicks, So that answers that. And moving on. Next question we got from Dollars the God. Shout out to Dollars the God. He has a question. He writes, are those Bobcat 7s an official release? That's his first question. Then he also writes, also, are they supposed to be retailing for $250? Wow, $250, that would be ridiculous because I've seen photos already and they don't look that great. I mean, if you got the right fit for them, they're going to look dope. I don't know much about the shoe. I just keep seeing images on Instagram. But besides that, I don't know too much about it. I'm not going to front like I know a lot about it. I really don't. So what I'm asking of you, the people, if you know anything about it, please leave that in the description box below so others can find out more about that, because I really don't know too much about it. I've heard from a few different people this same kind of question where they were asking, did you hear about the Bobcats? When are they releasing? Or, what's the price on them? I heard they're charging over $200 for them. So I've heard this from multiple people. And it's interesting that I keep hearing it. And especially right now, I'm hearing it. And I know this dude, Dollars, he's in tune with what's going on. So that's crazy if they're charging that kind of money. Because the 7s especially are really shitty. The way they put them out, the paint jobs they do on them are terrible. Every time you look at an Instagram photo of a Jordan 7, look at the arcs, how they paint them, and they look terrible. Like, no care when they make those damn sneakers. You're lucky if you get a pair and it's painted properly. Let's get into the next question from Dante Martin. Why do you think the sneaker game has changed in the last 5 to 10 years? Do you think it will be less about money and more about sneakers / people again in the future? Nah, it's always going to be about that money, because now that people know they can make money off of it, people are always going to try to make money off of it. Back then, 5-10 years ago, it wasn't about that. It was just about the sneakers. The sneaker game will never be what it was 5 to 10 years ago. Ever. It will never be like that, except the fact that you probably will be able to get, for instance, general release Air Jordans easier later on, because I think that people are just gonna stop spending ridiculous amounts of money for a regular pair of Air Jordans. If there's some kind of story behind it, limited, people are gonna buy it. Like those ones that just released, if they released that as a general release, people wouldn't give a damn about it. But because, you know, it's a collaboration shoe and this, that, and the third, people hype this shit up like crazy. Unless it has some kind of connection and it's limited, on that aspect of, you know, the sneaker game in the future, it's going to be good for us. Like people that want to buy the general release Jordan, that doesn't care about all that extra shit. They just want to wear the sneaker they think is hot to match with their outfit. Like myself and many of you that are listening right now. Because I think majority of the people that listen to me right now are really into just wearing the sneakers and talking about them, of course, but not with all that, you know, extra shit, you know. And it's always going to be the way it is. You got so many ways of earning money with sneakers, with the sneaker shows that go from state to state. They're killing it. They're making a fortune. And then the vendors are making fortunes off of it, reselling sneakers to actually selling products like accessories. There's so much money to be made in those accessories. I'm sure at the sneaker shows they're making a killing, because, you know, not everyone could afford to buy a pair of sneakers at the sneaker events, but they want to go and walk around, and while they're there, if they could pick up a $5, $10, $20 accessory, or even a t-shirt to match a kick that they have at home, they're going to do so. And just to make it clear, I have no problem with, you know, people making money with the, you know, the actual events and the accessories. I think it's cool like that people are able to make a living off of it. The only thing I do not like is resellers. I just don't like resellers. I think that that's just something I don't like, and it's just because of the fact that I'm a consumer and they work against me. If I was a reseller, then I wouldn't mind and I would understand, but I'm not a reseller. I don't resell shoes, so they work against me, so I don't like them. I don't like resellers. People that sell t-shirts to match the kicks, accessories, they're making a living off of, you know, what they like and sneakers, and it's not affecting me. If anything, it's offering me something new. I think it's dope, man. So shout out to everyone that does that. I always show love to people and try to, at least as much as I can, that do stuff like that. I'm all about that. It's just when it has to do with reselling or just fuckery and trying to fool people, that's where I have an issue. You also have so much poison out there. So many people that are just into just getting that dollar. They don't even care about the community. Like, I was recommended to watch a sneaker review because that happens from time to time when you sign on YouTube. And I watched a YouTube video of someone who was getting seeded. He got hooked up with a pair of kicks from a brand. And the sneaker was terrible quality. I mean, the suede was so trashed. And the person pointed it out real quick, played it off like there was nothing wrong with it, and then the next sentence was, "These are dope," or something like that. And to me, which was even worse, was the fact that when I was reading the comments, not one person said anything about that. Like, if this was 5-10 years ago, people would have flipped about that. But now, people don't even care about that, because it's not even about the shoes anymore. It's about the other stuff, you know what I mean? It's about just being a part of this quote-unquote sneaker community and this and that. People are just so brainwashed. I couldn't believe it when I seen this video. I don't care if someone sent me a pair of shoes, a brand. If it's jacked up, I'm going to say something about it. I'm not going to fool my viewers, the public, because, you know, I feel like people really pay attention to the reviews because they're thinking about possibly, you know, getting these shoes, and I'm trying to help them. But, you know, there's so much money to be made. People don't even care about that no more, you know. I'm not mad at people making money. We all are making our money one way or another, but it's just so dirty out there now. It's so different than before, man. It's crazy. It's a little sickening, though, in my opinion. But people don't even see it because they're so blinded by shit. So, what are you going to do? Keeping it moving. Yaz504. Do you think Jordans will stop dropping retros every weekend and space them out a little bit since they've been sitting lately? It's crazy how all these comments are kind of like fitting together like a puzzle. You see that? Because everyone's got the same mindset so far that's been leaving comments, you know? And it's amazing. It's in a good way. I love seeing that people are all on the same page. It's kind of cool. I think that Jordan's definitely gonna, you know, this year the thing is that everything's already scheduled out. So, you know, I think next year they're definitely gonna spread it out a little. But at the same time, the shoes are selling though. They are sitting, but at the same time they are selling. They're just not selling instantly, but they are selling slowly. Look at the laser ones. They're beginning to sell out now. They were sitting for a while. They never went on sale. Maybe they did certain places, but I haven't seen them sell out anywhere. So they are still getting their bread. And even if they do go on sale, they're still making mad money off of it. Because these shoes don't cost that much money to make at the end of the day. So answering your question, I think they may space it out, but at the same time, they may not. Because people are eventually buying them, you know? Leave your comments too about that. That's a good question. What do you guys think about that? And also, if I answered your questions, even if you're just listening right now and enjoying this, please, right now, share this on your Facebook, your Twitter. Hit that like button if you're enjoying it. Let me know. Let your friends and family know. Gotta remind you, because I know even me, I forget when I watch other people's videos. Sharing is caring. Let everyone know about this. And we will move on with another question. We've got from Rashid. He wants to know my opinion on resellers. Will they ever become more realistic with their prices? Resellers are always going to try to make their profit. So, you know, to some it's going to be an unrealistic price, but they're not looking for those type of customers. You know, they're looking for people that aren't counting their money. They're just ready to throw it at them because they need that shoe and they don't care that, you know, they have to pay the resale price. Resale prices are for a certain consumer, not the consumer that is, you know, like a normal consumer. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to get that person that got mad money that don't care. Oh, this shoe sold out here. All right, bomb. You want 400? Here you go. You want 350? Here you go. That's the consumers that resellers are more focused with. For some, it's going to be realistic prices. For some, it's not realistic. There's a whole lot of people ready to just buy. Money ain't a thing. And that's what the resellers are focused on. Those consumers. Not the consumers that missed out on the release and now they're like, damn, I don't want to pay this, you know, crazy price. It's for the people that just are filthy rich, or they just got it like that, or maybe their parents got it like that if they're young and they're going to buy the shoe for them. Either or, whatever the case may be. That's what it is. Moving on. Derek writes, thanks for the shout out for the past 2 podcasts you've done. My question is your opinion on the LeBron 12 Elite Nike IDs. Do you think they are worth $325? No, I do not think they're worth that. I think you might as well just design the standard one. It's more money for what? I mean, at the end of the day, for what? Yeah, it doesn't have that low swoosh. If you can't stand that low swoosh, maybe do it. But even me, someone who didn't really like the low swoosh in the beginning on the standard LeBron 12, I'm okay with it now. You know, I've gotten used to it. I still wish it was a little higher up, but I'm okay with it. I'm like 4 Nike IDs deep. I probably own about 8 or 9 pairs of LeBron 12s now. My kids own LeBron 12s. Everyone in my family is wearing LeBron 12s. So, you know, we like them. So, at the end of the day, you know, I don't mind the swoosh anymore. I kind of gotten used to it as I've worn it. I would never pay that kind of money to design that shoe when I could just design the standard LeBron model. So, that's my opinion. Design the standard LeBron model. Unless you got it like that. If you're balling, like I was just speaking about before, if money ain't a thing, then go for it, you know? If you really want that shoe and you got the money, you can't take the money with you when you die. Have fun with it. As long as it's not messing up you financially, go for it. That's my opinion. And with that said, you know what I'm about to say next, guys. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3, and moving on. Next question we've got from Metro 21. He wants to know my thoughts on the Jordan 6 lows. I'm not the biggest fan of the 6 low compared to the 6. The 6 is my favorite Jordan of all times, favorite sneaker of all times. I just don't understand what they did with the low, why they had to remove the top part of the tongue. They could have like made that top part of the tongue on the low, just kind of made, you know, it shorter and did something different. One of the best parts of the 6, in my opinion, was that part of the tongue. And from them removing it, it just took away from the shoe a lot. So that's my opinion on the 6 low. I don't hate the shoe, I'm just not the biggest fan when it comes to the low version. And for Dollars and anyone else that was curious about those Bobcats, I just got a text from a friend of mine because I shot them that question about the Bobcats to see if I could get any info on it. They told me it's releasing next month, later in the month, toward the end, for $190. That price tag isn't what it's going to be. It's not going to be over $250. This isn't set in stone, so if I'm wrong, you know, we'll all just blame this person that just texted me, but this guy pretty much knows what the hell he's talking about. He works in retail and everything. So he told me it's going to be $190, and I asked him, are you sure? He's like, I'm about 90% sure. So just so you guys know, that's probably what it's looking like next month for the Bobcats, and the retail at retailers will be $190, not that $200+ tag that's been running around the internet. People have been talking about it because I know he's not the only one that's asked me about that. So just wanted to answer that since I got that text. And let's see what we got next. Next question we got from Ryan 28. Bread lows or hair 7s? Hair 7s, definitely. Next question. Mark.0 wants to know, how much Bape clothing do I have? I don't know exactly. I've got a couple of hoodies, probably around 10 t-shirts maybe, give or take. I like getting the Bape collaborations, like when Bape does stuff with other brands that I like Stussy. I love Stussy. And for people that I notice from time to time that will leave comments say, this dickhead doesn't even know how to pronounce the brand name right and he wears the T's. Let me tell you something, the brand shows me love, man. You know how many times Stussy's reached out to me and showed me love, man? So don't even go there. Like, I think you got it twisted. And anyways, even if I am saying it wrong, they don't mind because they hit me up from time to time. So shout out to Stussy, or however you want to pronounce it, for anyone that criticizes how I pronounce that brand. But yeah, I love that clothing line. I've been wearing them for years. But Bape, they do a lot of collaborations with them, and I always try to copy at least one piece every time they have the collaborations. And, you know, I'm really into the collabos they do. Like, they did one with The Simpsons. I copped one of those tees. They did one with Marvel. I copped like 2 or 3. I've copped just regular Bape t-shirts at times if I like the way it looks. And not all their stuff is hot. I'm very picky with this stuff. I'm not one of them dudes that just buys everything Bape, 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 Bape. Nah, that's not me. I'm very selective on my tees. And, you know, some people think it's a ripoff. Some people understand the wave. Just like some people think buying sneakers is a ripoff. They don't understand the wave. It's like that with other things like shirts, hats, etc., etc., you know? So answering your question, probably 10, 15 t-shirts, couple of hoodies, nothing too crazy. Moving on, next question, Swaggy_C3. Do you plan on getting the Adidas Yeezy 750 anymore? Why or why not? Nah, I'm not going to give them my money for that shoe. After seeing all the photos I've seen and video, I'm not impressed by that sneaker. Hell no. I've seen some dude freaking put that shit in liquid nitrogen or some shit on the internet, man. It was crazy. If you want to see that, just go to my blog, thesneakeraddict.com, and just, if it's not on the main page, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it'll be one of the popular topics on my blog, but you could just search, you know, Yeezy, and it'll be that post. This guy literally talks about, you know, how whack he thinks the shoe is. It puts in liquid nitrogen. I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, it's so crazy, man. There's like, you know, all this like chemical smoke, I guess, or whatever it is. I'm no scientist, but it's like steam or something while the shoes going in this pot. It was crazy. It was a little much. And then after, he grabs like a mallet or a big ass, I forgot what it was off top, something, and he starts trying to bash the shoe after and make it shatter. It was a crazy video. Matter of fact, I'll just put a link in the description box below so you could watch it. It was pretty wild, man. If you haven't seen it, you should probably see it. The dude kind of tweaked out. You know, he was really upset with Kanye West, and that's what I got from it, at least. It was a trip, man. You should just see it. I'll put that in the description box. You can go watch that over at my blog. It's I don't even know what to say, man. It was a trip, but there's a lot of people that feel strongly about that shoe, that they're not feeling it. To me, not to the point where I would go over the edge like that and just snap. Homeboy just, dude just snapped. He just went bananas. Man, if anyone's seen the video, you know what I'm saying, man. It was a trip. It was a treat to watch, though. It was pretty entertaining, I gotta say. Definitely, if you haven't seen it, just press pause and just look in the description box, like right now, and then just come right back, listen to the rest. And for anyone that may be questioning why I'm even talking so much about the video, you know, in the past when I've seen people burn sneakers, I've talked about it and been really negative about it. I want people to understand I'm just as negative about this video too. I think it's ridiculous to destroy any pair of shoes. The reason why I'm mentioning this video is because it's done in such a weird fashion. It's very odd. The whole video is very strange and unusual, and it's pretty entertaining to see. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I want to make it clear, I really think that if you have a pair of shoes that you don't like, you shouldn't destroy it. You should give it away to someone less fortunate. The homeless, the poor, they would love those shoes. Don't burn your shoes. Burning the shoes, that's what bitches do. That's what like females do when they get mad. Like psycho females, they go and grab the dude's clothing and they burn it, you know. That's what psychos do. You don't burn articles of clothing. That's weird. I just want to make that clear. But it's funny to watch this dude just doing it. It's like a damn science project. And a lot of people have seen the video. I mean, I think it's over 200,000 views. It's gone viral, and everyone's seen it. Majority, not everyone. I'm sure there's a few people right now that are listening. They're like, I gotta see what the hell this guy's talking about. Pause. They're about to go and check it out right now. But I just want to make it clear, I'm not condoning destroying clothing. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. It's not normal. And it's stupid. It's just very stupid when there's people that are in need. And the thing that was so ironic about this video is this guy's complaining about, you know, Kanye West and, you know, why don't you be more giving and this, that, and the third. And he's showing Dornbecker shoes and the Think Pink shoes. And then he burns a pair of shoes. Like, why wouldn't you just took those Yeezys you didn't like and give it to someone less fortunate? Like, he could have made a bigger impact if he just gave those Yeezys to like a homeless person, made him throw them on his feet, you know what I mean, and do something like that. But I've lost total interest in the shoe. I've seen people wear it, and I'm just not like, wow, this is amazing. Not like the Yeezy 2. When you see someone wear the Yeezy 2, you're just like, I'm like, damn, it's such a nice pair of kicks. Like, I admire the sneaker. Just like on the ones, like I still want a pair of Yeezy ones. I'm looking for a pair size 8.5 or 9. They could even be worn. Like, I'm to the point now, as long as they don't smell funky and they look decent, I will work something out with you. Hit me up on Instagram. But the Yeezy Adidas shoe, unless I get it in hand, if someone gives it to me, I'm not spending $350 for it. Hell nah, it's not happening. Unless it's for free or half price, maybe if it's $150, I will. That sneaker don't look like $350. And it's not that I'm broke or anything. I got the money, man. I'm sitting on some money right now. Like, I could buy like 5 of those right now if I wanted to. It's about the fact if I want to. I feel like if you just buy everything, you're a sucker. Like, and I'm far from that, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna, you know, waste my money on that. I don't want the shoe, obviously. If I wanted it, I would have already bought it. I would have gave one of these resellers my money for crying out loud. But, you know, it's just not a must for me. It's just not making me want to get it. Like the other ones, you wanted them so badly. Like, there was times where I'm sure that there was a lot of you guys that owned them the Yeezy 1 and Yeezy 2, like, you just couldn't take it no more. You wanted them so badly, you're like, fuck it, and you just bought it for a resale price because you wanted them that badly. I don't think that's the case with these Boost shoes. I don't think people are like, I need the Yeezy Boost so badly, here, take my money. I mean, I'm sure there are some people like that, but for the most part, it's nothing like with the Nike Yeezy 1 and 2. Nothing like it. And the Yeezy 2 looks so much better than the Yeezy Boost. So much better. 100 times better. So that's my whole thing with that. You will never see me come out of pocket for that Yeezy. Nah, not that $750. Maybe if I seen it in hands, I would have a change of heart, but, you know, just from seeing so many photos, so many pictures, I don't think I'm going to have a change of heart. Moving on, next question. What is your favorite Elite series? I would say the LeBron 9, that was the best. The LeBron 9 Elite was just perfection. Love that one right there. Love them. And moving on, we got Eric Lopez 711 wants me to speak about Star Wars, the new Star Wars movie. What is my opinion on it? I think that it is going to be something special. I think J.J. Abrams is doing his thing. Not so much CGI, all that digital crap, which sucks. I hate that. From the first trailer to the second one that released yesterday, it was just incredible. I can't wait for December. I watched yesterday's trailer probably already 20 times. It's so good. It's so damn good. And cannot wait. Star Wars is so special to me. And I just am like super excited. You know, it was something that I grew up on. My mother, who recently passed away, it was something we loved. We loved watching together. And my kids are now into Star Wars. And now it's going to be special when me and them go to the movie theaters to see it. It's going to be a little sad because of my mother passing. But, you know, it's going to be cool at the same time going with my kids. So I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this movie in December, just like most people are. And next question. Guys, try to avoid the questions being too long. Try to keep it 1 to 2. If you got to 3 sentences long, so I can just try to just read real quick and buzz through it. I apologize if I skipped some questions. Some of them I skipped because I already answered them, or I just skipped because I lost my place. But there's a few that is just paragraphs long, and I don't have the time to go through all these long questions. So just try to make them more simpler, just because of the fact it's a lot. I mean, I think I have over 90 questions here. I'm just trying to get through as many as possible. So let's see where we are. Let's see. As you say, I'm trying to find where I was last. We'll go right here. Michael Francisco. Who has the hottest signature shoe this year? Forget price. Who's rocking the best PE on the court? I don't really pay attention to PEs like that, so I'm not really going to answer that question. As far as... Oh, well, I guess, you know what, the coolest PE I would say would be Kawhi Leonard, right? Those Jordans were sick. So I would say that. And then as far as signature shoe this year, who has the hottest one? I don't know who I would say has the hottest one. My favorites, I would say, are LeBron's, KD's, John Wall's, and the Lillards are really dope too. I gotta think about it. You know, this is the first time me reading the question. I gotta really think about it, but those are some of my favorites I'll mention. Moving on. Playboy LU wants to know, what's my thoughts on Cherry Bomb, the album from Tyler, the Creator? I like the album, but I think that some of the music kind of sucked because the mixes were so terrible. His voice is so damn low on the damn album. I don't know what he was doing. On the title track, Cherry Bomb, I mean, he should refund people for paying for that damn track, because it was totally, completely distorted where you couldn't even really want to listen to it. I mean, for you to really enjoy that, I don't know how you can really enjoy listening to that. It was just complete shit, in my opinion. There was a lot of hot, like, joints on it, that could have been better if his vocals were raised up. I mean, he is like almost like shy at times, and like almost like, you know, like, I don't know what the right word, but like he just like doesn't want to have his voice loud. Like, what the fuck, man? You're Tyler the Creator. Like, we want to hear your damn voice. Like, you know, you got a strong, powerful voice. You have got obnoxious, outrageous bars that we want to hear loud and clear. You know, it's almost like he's just not delivering what he's supposed to be delivering. I feel like this album could have been way bigger if he wasn't so insecure about himself at times. It's like he has like an insecurity about his music, where he almost sometimes underplays that he even is talented sometimes, it seems like. And then sometimes he'll bitch and complain on Twitter that, you know, he's not looked at, you know, the proper way, or this, down, the third. But then he underplays himself. I think people that are real fans of Tyler will understand what I'm saying. I mean, I've been listening to him for a long time. I've been supporting that crew for a long time, man. People that know what time it is, man. With your boy Dells. Like, I was pushing him like crazy. I always go back to his first joint, like the mixtape, and I'm like, damn, like, give us that. That was, to me, that was incredible. Bastard was incredible, man. That was my shit. The joint with Kanye West and Weezy was crazy. But there was other joints that were hot too. The opening track was really dope. I mean, there were some hot tracks. I hate the mixes on it. I think the mixes were terrible. That's really what really fucked it up for me, was the mixes. His voice was so low at times, and some people are saying, oh, well, you got to pay better attention. He wants you to be able to really pay attention and really listen hard. Man, what the fuck? You're supposed to be able to hear his voice clearly. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, really try hard to hear what he's saying. That's whack. Like, the first time I listened to it on my friend's computer, which had a shitty sound system where it sounded so dope. I was listening to it over and over again because his vocals were like, you know, really high on it because of the fact that it was a shitty computer. I was at my friend's house and they copped and was playing it while we were all chilling. So like, I was on Twitter saying like how dope the album was, and then when I listened to it with some good headphones, you know, and I was just vibing, I was like, what the fuck? Like, when Cherry Bomb came on, like, I was just like, what the fuck? This shit, like, almost broke my ears. Like, it was crazy. Like, but if you notice, though, before I go to the next question, all the collabo joints with big stars, the mixes were pretty on point because, you know, those artists aren't going to allow their shit to be out there sounding all crazy. It was just really just the solo joints that, you know, he was putting out just trashy mixes, like just terrible. I mean, I really want to do more podcasts talking about music and other stuff that I'm really passionate about, and I would like anyone that really enjoyed that little segment right there to go right now and subscribe to my other channel, The Dells Show. The Dells Show on YouTube. I will put that in the description box. Just look in the description box while you're listening, or there may be something on the screen right now. Subscribe there. If the subscribers keep going up, I'm going to start doing more podcasts over there, and, you know, keep that separate from this, because I know there's some people that really just want to listen to sneaker stuff, but I'm not going to avoid questions if people want me to speak about music, because it's something special to me, and I think a lot of people are into hearing what I got to say about music. But just do that, definitely. Subscribe to the other channel. There's a ton of brand new content there that's a lot of fun to watch. You should definitely make your way over there in the next, you know, couple of days. If not, you know, tonight. Check out The Dell Show if you have not, and subscribe over there. And we're going to go on to another question. Vincent wants to know, you ever plan on using Nike ID to make Bruce Lee colorways in any other Nike shoes besides LeBron's? No, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, the only reason why I keep doing the LeBron every year is because I did it the first time LeBrons were available, and I just think it's fun to just complete a set every year. Just do the, you know, standard model every single year. I think it's fun collection-wise as a piece. You know, it's just really cool to see year by year every single shoe me designing in that kind of color scheme. But I will never design a different Nike shoe in that colorway. I'm most likely, like, never gonna. You never know in the future, but I'm about 99% sure that'll never happen. Moving on, Ballhard_D. Just want to thank you for the podcast. They really get me through long 12-hour shifts at work. That's what's up, man. That's motivation right there for me. Like, when I hear that, I understand what you're talking about, because, you know, I like listening to podcasts that are longer than mine, that are like 2-3 hours, and sometimes I'm doing stuff and I'll listen to it straight through and it just helps me get through. Podcasts are dope. I recommend anyone starting podcasts, just record them, man. It's free on YouTube. That's why I do them on YouTube. You just have to get a microphone. You can get a microphone anywhere and just plug it in and start recording on your computer. And it's a lot of fun, man. Just record, have fun with it. It's free. It doesn't cost you money to upload on YouTube, so knock yourself out, you know. I think you're limited on the amount of time if you're not a partner with YouTube. I'm a partner with YouTube. I've been a partner with YouTube for many, many years. So I think if you're not a partner with YouTube, you are limited on the amount of time that you can put as far as the length of a video. But go for it, man. Have fun, man, because people enjoy listening to podcasts. I enjoy listening to podcasts as long as it's fun and, you know, entertaining. I listen to a lot of sports podcasts and music podcasts. It's a lot of fun, man, especially when you're doing stuff and you just have that playing in the background. It's the shit. You know, that's what made me turn to doing them, because I started becoming a fan of so many people's that were doing them in the past, you know. And at first I didn't get it. I'm like, what the hell? Why would you want to listen to it? I realized, you know, you could multitask and do a bunch of shit while it's playing. So it's dope. Thanks a lot, though, for that heads up right there about liking the show. I appreciate that. Moving on. Sneaker_Mike. What do you predict will be the hottest what the shoe of 2015? I would say, I don't know, man. I can't really call it. Definitely not the Kobe, that's for sure. Fits and Chips, he wants to know, what's my thoughts on the navy blue 5s? Or even the Poisons? I don't know what you mean by the Poisons. The navy blue 5s, I seen actually today, and I'm disappointed because I didn't realize they were navy blue. I thought it was like a purplish color, like a Hornets, like with that turquoise. So I'm not really feeling those. I actually did a review. I just haven't posted the actual review yet, but I'm really disappointed in those. And after seeing them, I'm not really into the 13 that's coming out tomorrow. I think it's going to be cool, but I thought it was like a purplish color, like a dark purple. I didn't realize it was a midnight navy, so it kind of just put a bad taste in my mouth now. I thought it was like a Hornets colorway. Next question. Cop till you drop. Talk about the Kobe 10 that's releasing and the restocks that's been going on. The Kobe 10 that's releasing with the fly knit looks really dope. I love all the colorways. There's 3 colorways we've seen. I posted images on my blog. Really hot. The restocks are going on. I think that some of them have been fake restocks with little here's and there's. Like maybe a pair here in a size and a pair there in a size. I think a lot of these retailers are just taking advantage of social media and trying to get some free promotion in to sell other stuff. Once people get on the site and miss out on something, they end up saying, oh, well, you know what, I'll just pick up this instead. So I think the restocks have been like really like light and kind of fugazi, like to the point where maybe they restock. I mean, they could call it a restock just basically putting, you know, a size 9 of this colorway, a size 10 of this colorway, a size 8 of this colorway, and then call it a big restock. But there's only a couple of shoes available, and I think that's what they're doing. And they're just trying to take advantage of social media and promotion. And it's working for the most part. Let's see what we got here. Megatron Supreme, big fan of your show from Toronto. I love Jordans. I have wide feet. What Jordan would work for me best? I would say Jordan 2 or Jordan 3. Kind of wide, I think those shoes. I think those are your best bet. Or even a Jordan 9. Jordan 9 would probably work really nice. Or Jordan 10. Jordan 10 would work great too. Moving on. Damn, I missed a bunch of questions. I'm sorry if I'm missing a bunch of questions. I got to end this podcast soon because I got something I got to do, unfortunately. E-Price the King, talk about LeBron's having numerous colorways compared to Jordan's. Used to have like 4 colorways of each shoe. Talk about how the game has changed. Is it too many damn colorways? Well, obviously you feel that way. I think that if they're, you know, if they're putting out more and more colorways, I'm all for it. Why not, man? Who cares if they sell or not? There's someone that could use maybe a certain colorway and a certain, look. Like they're trying to get a certain fit together, and they come out with the right colorway for that fit. I don't mind. I think they could put out a billion colorways. I think the more the merrier, right? That's just my opinion. Some may disagree with me, but I don't care. I like seeing sneakers sit on the shelves. I hate going to a sneaker store and there's not a lot of sneakers there. There's just your generic, regular shit you always see. I like seeing a whole bunch of different LeBrons sitting around collecting dust. I think it's great. It gives people an opportunity to go to the sneaker store and not buy something, but see something they may want, and then go back next week and see it again and absorb it and say, you know what, I kind of like these now. Let me go pick these up now, It kind of reminds me of back in the days. I dig that, Nisum30, he wants to know my opinion on Wale's new album. He thinks it's dope, and I agree. I think Wale's album is great. I loved his last album. I thought it was great. I thought he was completely robbed with what Complex did when they did that write-up, but they made up for that foolishness, I would say, that they did last year with Wale, with what they did this year with him and Seinfeld. I thought it was a dope look. I gotta listen to it more and just ride out and absorb it and just live my life and let that music play, but the album sounds great. And shout out to the homie Wale. We got a lot of similar tastes. He's into sneakers, music, wrestling, basketball, a lot of the same stuff that I'm into. So shout out to the homie Wale. Blackout 35. What's your thoughts on Jordan brand athletes, Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony shoes not being as popular as athletes like KD, Kobe, LeBron, and Kyrie? I did a podcast a year ago, which is a must listen to, where I speak about this right after hearing about D Wade leaving to go to Li Ning, and it's a really good podcast. It's a little outdated because it was so long ago, but at the same time, it's not. It's a great listen to. It's one of the podcasts that I've done that I'm very proud of, because I really just go in and I just hit you with a lot of just dope facts, but I will break it down really quickly to make a long story longer. Basically, you've got people like Chris Paul and Melo, and they are signed to Jordan Brand, and you cannot have other athletes connected to Michael Jordan. That Jumpman is too powerful to be next to someone else's logo. So that's why their shoes aren't going to sell as well. If Melo and Chris Paul signed to Nike, there's no attachment to another single athlete when you look at the swoosh. You don't think of one single athlete because Nike is bigger than just one athlete. Jordan Brand, you think of Jordan. You don't think of Chris Paul. You don't think of Melo. So they're under the shadow of Michael Jordan. If Melo went to Nike, his shoes would be selling everywhere, man. Just like Chris Paul. They would be selling everywhere. If Jordan Brand was smart, they just removed that damn Jumpman off of their shoes. For real. Just remove the Jumpman. Call it something else. When you have Jordan, his name, you don't want to hear no one else's name when you hear Jordan's name, because it's fucking Michael Jordan, It's as simple as that. It's like talking about the Catalina wine mixer. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer, man. Oh, God. All right, we got to shut this microphone off soon. But you guys get what I'm saying. Listen to that podcast. I'm telling you, it's a treat. You're going to enjoy that. Thuggist, what's my favorite basketball player right now? Let's see. Steph Curry, LeBron James, I love watching. Those are the two that I love watching. Who do you think will win the NBA championship? I am going to say the Cavs. I actually tweeted that the other day. The Cavs are going to win the NBA championship for 2015. That's my prediction. I know a lot of people are rooting for Golden State. If that happens, cool. But my pick is the Cavs. Some are going to say the Spurs. That would be cool too. My pick, though, the Cavs. And we're going to end this podcast right here. I will have plenty of information for all the releases that are coming out. Like usual, in the AM, I suggest going to the blog at 9:45 Eastern Standard Time in the morning to give you a head start on all the releases. And then also follow the Twitter over at the Sneak Addict, and I will be constantly tweeting information all the time as usual with releases, restocks, and updates on what's going on with your boy Dells when it comes to these sneakers over at the Sneak Addict. If you're bored, check out last week's podcast. A lot of people really enjoyed it. Some people listened to it multiple times. If you want to hear last week's again, it will be in the description box below. It's over an hour long, and it was pretty interesting. A lot of great topics. I'll put a bunch of other episodes I think you may want to watch. I also will put info to my new channel I was mentioning before, The Dells Show. Check it out. If you love your boy Dells, you need more content, make sure you're subscribed to The Dells Show. You're going to get all types of stuff like sneaker material that will not be here, to me doing all kinds of things, reviewing Styles P's juice bar from the legendary The Locks crew over in Yonkers. I go over there, check out Styles P's spot, to hanging out with VH1 star Big Ange from Mob Live. She's breaking down some new jewelry she got, and we start talking about sneakers. It's a lot of fun. And then also, recently, I was just kicking it with WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley. He showed me how he draws Sacco and go through some of his old outfits. It's a crazy video, man. A lot of fun, different kinds of stuff. People that are fans of Star Wars, you see me actually review a Star Wars droid. I mean, all kinds of just randomness. Just go over there. You're going to enjoy it. You definitely will. It's definitely something interesting. The Dells Show. That will be in the description box below. Thanks again for everyone that checked out today's episode. And everyone have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Also, don't text and drive. It's dangerous, guys. You can kill someone just by looking at your phone and texting real quick. You may think you're quick enough to bang, 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 get that text in. Before you know it, you look up, it's too late. You could have hit someone, took someone's life. How are you going to live with yourself because you had to send a text to someone about what's going on tonight and you killed someone? Like, how are you going to be able to live with yourself doing that? It's going to be tough. So just avoid that. Don't text and drive. And also, it gives the cops an excuse to pull you over. And you see what's going on in the news today. That's the last thing you want, is to get pulled over by the cops. You know what I mean? So always keep that damn phone away from you when you drive. Nothing's that important while you're driving. Get to where you need to be at, and then bang, check out your phone. And it's a good way for you to avoid getting pulled over by the cops too. You got to think of it in that way too, man. It's just a good idea. Throw that seatbelt on. You see what's going on in the news, man. Everyone be careful out there, all right? Have a great weekend. Be safe, but have fun, man. For real, because we're on Earth once. Do it big. Have fun, all right? And with that said, we out.